what's up, everybody? It is your boy, Don Juan, and I am back for another episode of Unapologetically. And today, I got my buddy Wakanda with me. Aw, say hey to Wakanda, everybody. Wakanda is kind of tired today, so he's kind of wound up, but we're going to sit here and talk to you unapologetically about episode 4 of season 7 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Wakanda, what you think? Tell them what you think. You ain't gonna tell them? Okay. So, episode 4 of season 7 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. This was a cool episode. It starts out with this episode. We are finding out some more things about Ashley's divorce. She meets with her publicist, and Ashley is going to actually finally make a statement about the divorce and all of those kind of things. I'm sorry, but before we got to that, Wendy actually is meeting up with her husband, and they're, with the kids, and Wendy is talking about how her and Robin got into it, and Robin tried to get buck on her, and how she is like, oh, you trying to get buck, shit. And at the same time, Robin is having the same kind of conversation with Juan, and she is talking about how, she ain't really feeling Wendy either, and she wants to do this event for the kids, but she gonna invite everybody but Wendy, which I think is very crazy. Like, don't you think that's kind of crazy? Wakanda, what you think? I think that's kind of crazy how you gonna invite everybody but Wendy, and Wendy sitting right there. Even Wendy said, so I'm not invited? Like, who does that? Like, who doesn't invite somebody and they're sitting right there? Housewives doesn't. So anyway, I'm trying to make sure Wakanda stays in the video also, but not be like jumping around, because he'll be like, what is going on? And I'm not trying to like scare him on camera because he might like lash out. But so Wendy is like, so Robin is actually like having the conversation with Juan, and she's like, well, let me do this. Let me call Candace and tell her to see if Wendy's kids can come with her and she can be auntie, because that's going to be probably a better look for us, because I just don't want her there. I ain't liking her. So they decide to invite everybody to the event. Fast forward, like I said, we get to Ashley, and Ashley is talking with her publicist, and Ashley's statement was very heartfelt. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Ashley's statement, I felt, was very heartfelt. I felt Ashley's statement was, her giving her feelings about a marriage that other people may feel like, you know what? You should have been done with this marriage. And it does those flashbacks. When it was doing those flashbacks about the different things they went through, from the cheating scandal to, like them getting into the arguments and like all of those kind of things. What's going on, buddy? Sorry. Yeah, I got to check and see what he doing. He trying to hide. He not really feeling the camera. As you can see, y'all. He not really feeling the camera. So from the cheating scandal to all of those kind of things, like, he is trying to hide from the camera, if y'all did not see. He done went up under here and tried to hide from the camera. I'm like, buddy ain't feeling this camera today. Like, he calm, but he ain't feeling the camera. So, if I make any crazy movement, he gonna be like, what are you doing? So, even the cheating scandal was, like that they talked about, and the him grabbing butts and the things that they've been through. It was kind of sad when you start looking at the behind the, like the memories that they showed with it. So Ashley is talking about it with her publicist and saying they want to release a statement because they want to kind of take their own narrative with it and go with, being able to tell their own story. What I'm going to do, y'all, is I'm going to come right back, because this is going to be awkward. I thought he was going to, like play along with me today, but he is very much kind of calm today and kind of like, what are you doing? So I'm going to put him back in his cage, and I'll be right back. All right, Wakanda was not feeling it. Tried to give y'all a special guest, but I felt like he was so uncomfortable with the camera. Like, I was sitting here like this, and he was kind of like wound up and uncomfortable, and normally he kind of be laid out. So I was like, let me put him up before y'all see on camera. Y'all see me like get randomly struck, even though he's never been. But anyway, so Ashley, it was very heartfelt. She was telling the girl, and you were just being able to see the flashbacks, and I was sitting there like, ooh, this was very... these are people we're growing up with them in their lives and we're seeing it. And her and her husband, you know, like they've been together since we've seen them on the show. So this was very heartbreaking. So we fast forward. After that, we see Karen talking to her daughter about how her father doesn't like the fact that she got her boobs lifted and the attention, and how she's super proud of her daughter. She's at the Met Gala and she's super young and all of those things. And I thought that was super dope. Mia is in the car and she's talking to her husband about the family dynamic and her mother and the issues she had and how she could have had a little bit more grace and forgiveness with her mother. But I'm not gonna lie, every time Mia talk, y'all, I just be thinking, why are you always lying? Like, I don't want to sing the song because they may try to take my video down, but I really be lying. Every time she started talking, something about it makes me not believe her. Specifically, after I saw the things that she said about about Chris, and I'm like, they weren't true. Like, why are you always lying? Like, I just feel like she be lying, but her confessionals are funny to me. You know, she's kind of quirky, she says whatever. Like, so her confessionals are good, but her personal story, I be thinking she lying. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't mean a person to do that. I don't even know this lady, but I just think she's lying. So, we get, finally we get her and the kids to come over. To the event that Robin is throwing. And Robin kind of ain't got the event together. I don't know if production put the event together for Robin and she just kind of, because she's kind of the neutral one or something, because it ain't nothing together. Tablecloths flying everywhere. They brought some food, didn't nobody ever eat. Like, the games, they don't really have no structure to them. Like, it's a little like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? And then it's, I don't know. So we get Giselle brings her daughter to the event. We get Charisse comes to the event. We get Karen comes, and Karen's doing a little coughing when she comes already. When she sees Charisse, everybody like, she doing that because of you. We get Candace actually comes later, but she's like, nope, she ain't let me bring the kids. And which, even on that, who is going to let you take their kids to somebody that doesn't like them? That's like setting your kids up for me to have to whoop your ass because you did something to my kids, or you slighted my kids, or my kids to feel like you slighted them. No, I'm not sending my kids. No right parent is going to send their kids. And even I have to give it to the grand dame in her confessional. She like, now that's some bull. You ain't finna send your damn kids up over there. Who would send let me take your kid. Ain't nobody finna let you do that. So I just thought it was crazy. But, she asked, I get she was trying to be the bigger person in that moment, but she should have been the bigger person and invited Wendy in general. But she didn't. So we get Robin and her kids. Juan doesn't come, obviously. We just know Juan is not going to show up. So Juan doesn't show up to the event. Who else do we get there? We get Mia's friend, Mia kids and her family. We get Mia's friend, who actually comes in. I forgot her name. I'm sorry, y'all. Drop it below when you remember her name. And then we get Ashley Darby comes in later. So even when they start talking and when Ashley comes, they're talking about the relationship. And Ashley says that her husband, who they filed for a divorce, went and got a vasectomy because he thinks she is trying to get pregnant again from him. I'm just saying, that's, yeah. And how, they talk about it. And at that point they discussed, they had done threesomes and they didn't want to do threesomes anymore. And most of the women standing there had said that they had done threesomes, or some of them have tried and they're trying to figure out their sexuality and all of that. And I like that they're very open about discussing their feelings and the things that they've done. But it's very, just interesting. They're all just sitting around while the kids are playing, talking about, if they did threesomes before. Great things to happen at an event with family. So after they start the games, Karen gets out there on the race, on the three-legged, no, she got out on the horse sack race. On the, what do you call it? The apple sack race, where they get in the bags. And they're jumping along, and it is hilarious to see these ladies jumping along in these bags. You hear me? We are seeing all of these more mature ladies get out there and try to work it and jump in the bags. The kids are doing great. The ladies, not so much. And by the time Karen finishes with the sack race, Karen can't even talk. She about to choke. And she like, I shouldn't have did it. I got a respiratory infection. I should have took a Z-Pack. A Z-Pack is not like a throat lozenge. Not you should have took a Z-Pack. If the doctor told you you should have took a Z-Pack, then you should have been on a Z-Pack, and it's a prescription that, it's an antibiotic, so it's going to work over time, probably about 5 days. Not the fact that you say you should have just took one before coming outside. Say what now? That ain't how that works, but okay. So the kids are having fun. The games are kind of just going. They do the 3-legged race, and the ladies, it falls off of them, but they just run, Giselle and them. So it's, it's a cute little kind of step away from everything. Candace, when she comes, she's telling Ashley about the fact that she hasn't, been able to do the IVF cycles because she had to come off them because it's not as progressing as fast. And Ashley's like, you didn't fail at this. And I thought that was nice. She's like, you didn't fail. It's gonna, it may take some time and all of that, but you didn't fail at that. And, they're having a conversation. I was like, okay, that's actually, really, really cool of them. Giselle and Candace don't really have conversation because Candace feels like, nah, the way you came at me about my husband, when she called her neck on last episode, y'all, and I was done. I was done. But she's like, no, I'm not feeling her. And so that's kind of how they end the family centered event. Nobody wins. They don't know who win. Robin didn't know who win. Robin didn't even know who was in the event. So I thought that was quite interesting. And then we get to Ashley, and the news exclusively through Love B. Scott drops about their separation. And Ashley is trying to find her husband and she can't get him on the phone, which is, crazy once the news finally officially drops and all of that good stuff. So overall, I thought it was a decent episode. Wendy, and her husband talk, and they talk about the possible partnership with the restaurant and how things could go with that. And he's like, I'm glad you're reaching your limit, but yeah, nah, I don't know about that. What else did we miss? We didn't get to see Chris this episode. Candace, we talked a little bit about her. We did talk to you about Ashley. I'm trying to think if I missed anything that was very pertinent, to making this episode what it was, the meat of it. I think that part was really it. Ashley took up a lot of the episode, and the dynamic at the event with the ladies took up a lot of the episode. Ashley is driving around this damn, cul-de-sac, trying to get Michael on the phone, which is hilarious. She just needs to release the statement, is what I said. Like, why would you've already drafted it. He had sent it in the email. I saw it on the screen when you put it up there. It was an email y'all had went back and forth on. And I think, it was good. You should have sent it then. You shouldn't have been waiting and planning to send. You should have went ahead and put it out there so you could get ahead. If you control your narrative, nobody else can control the narrative for you. But yeah, so overall, I thought it was a cool episode. You see next week, Candace and somebody, I'm assuming Ashley, go back and forth, which looks like it's about to be crazy. I think these ladies, I'm going to be honest, these ladies, when they get on camera, they don't care what they say. They give all of those things that make a great reality show. So I am definitely very happy, that I start reviewing the show. It just takes me a little bit longer, y'all, because I just am not at home when it comes on a lot of times. But I'm trying to do better. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have an unapologetic shirt on. You can get this at thenewmeaning.com. I tried to have Wakanda come and sit with y'all today, but I had to put him up. He was not comfortable with this camera and me holding him like this. It seemed kind of weird because normally I'd be doing all this with him. But doing both of those things at once was not going to work. But continue to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for coming to the channel and making the channel what it is. And until next time, I am Don Juan, and you have just watched another episode of Unapologetically.